it's Tommy Allen from TommyAllenMusic.com. Welcome. This week we have the amazing Marcus Praestgaard. Let's jump straight to it. So hey Marcus, thank you very much for being in the chair this week.
Oh, thank you for asking me, man.
So let's begin. So when was you born?
2003.
So that makes you how old?
16.
How would you describe the music you create?
Well, I would say, everything I do is kind of, based on blues, really. That's kind of the home for me. And, kind of building off that, like rock and jazz and, like R&B and soul and funk and that kind of thing. So really any of that stuff, but it's usually kind of based around blues in some kind of way.
So when did you first pick up the guitar?
Well, I think I was about 8. I think it was just one of those kind of proper cheap nylon string £5 guitars from the the market or someplace. So yeah, I think I was about 8, and it was basically just we had some friends. My mum was friends with a lot of musicians, and so it just kind of seemed like the natural thing to do was to pick up a guitar. And so I got the cheap one, and then I kind of played a bit on it. It wasn't like a first love thing where I just got obsessed with it straight away. It kind of it took me a couple years, and then I ended up hearing blues for the first time, and I should say that I got into music really from like blues festivals. My mum used to take me to these blues festivals when I was in a pram. One of them was the Benworth Blues Festival, which is where I met you. And so I went to those all the time, and that's really where I got the love for music, I think. But so moving back on to when I was about 8, I realised that I'd been having some lessons, and so I was enjoying it. But I think I remember hearing a video of Stevie Ray Vaughan, I think it was, and Eric Clapton, and they were playing Sweet Home Chicago or something, and I think it just kind of clicked. That was one of those kind of moments, and then I realised, oh, that's what I want to do. So from there on, I really got into kind of because before I was playing more rockier kind of stuff, because that's what I was being taught. But then I really got into the blues kind of stuff, and that's when I started really shedding and really getting into it, I think.
Right. Okay. And what was your first electric guitar from the nylon string?
Well, so after the nylon string, I got a slightly more expensive Strat copy, which is like one of those black and with the white scratch plate that never stayed in tune, that kind of thing. And then from there I got I was about 9, I think. For Christmas, I think I got that black and white Strat, and then from there on I got my mum paid a friend of hers 100 quid or so for a slightly better Strat, which was like a dark blue kind of Squire Strat. So that's really what I'd say. I got that about the time I started really getting into it.
I was going to say, from there, when was the point that I got you up with us at the festival? How old was you then?
I think I was about 10.
So it was after that period you had the Squire then?
Yeah, it was just about the time I got the blue Strat.
Right. Okay.
It's funny because I remember I think we met at a jam night.
Yeah, we met at his pub, didn't we?
Yeah. And so I remember going up, and at the time I think I had a couple songs that I played every time I went, and that was it. And I never really knew about improvising or anything like that. So I remember meeting you there, and you saying, learn the 12-bar blues, and then if you do that, you can get up with me the Benworth Blues Festival thing. So I remember going home and taking it to my guitar teacher and thinking, you got to teach me this. And so we kind of, we got through it, and then so I learned that and stuff, and then I ended up playing with you.
Can you remember how you felt that night?
Well, it was great, man. It's my first kind of real experience of playing to a fairly big crowd. Because before that it was just jam nights where everybody was kind of doing their own thing, and then the band was kind of playing. So yeah, that was really cool. And I think I was just talking to my mum about this earlier. She was saying that after that night, apparently I told her that was when I wanted to do music for a living, which is cool. So yeah.
So I didn't put you off then?
No, you didn't put me off. No. No.
No, it's great. I just don't. You was probably very nervous, I would have thought.
Oh yeah, I was probably shaking.
Because you were tiny and the guitar was huge on you. I remember that.
Yeah, twice my size, man. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's good, and I'm glad you've come a long, long way since then. So, you've proved yourself that you're more than capable with your playing.
Oh,
It's the rest of it now, isn't it? The getting the miles in and.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it doesn't help when you're on lockdown and you can't gig.
Yeah, oh man, it sucks. It sucks. It does. Yeah.
You've come by the sounds of it then by being tutored quite a bit. Is that, I guess, different teachers?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So I started off with a friend of ours, friend of my mum and me, and so he kind of showed me the basics and like all your chords, open chords and stuff. And then he taught me like the kind of theory basics, like where the notes are on the neck. So I remember memorizing that, and like the minor pentatonic and things like that. And then I think it was around the time that I got the blue guitar that I started teaching myself. And that's where I really got into the blues stuff, and I started like ripping off licks of all these guys that I really admired, like BB and Eric Clapton, Stevie, these kind of guys. And so yeah, then I was kind of mostly self-taught from there, and then.
Well, you're always self-taught. It's just sometimes it's handy that someone gives you a little boost. That's what the point of my lessons.
Yeah. I've had in that kind of way, I've had definitely loads of people like that for me.
That have sort of took you so far, and then you've sort of moved on and wanted to learn something else. So you've gone to someone different. You're not stuck with the same person, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've obviously Jules Fothergill. It's a huge one for me.
Was he one of your teachers then?
Well, I didn't go to him for lessons, but in just the way he played and and being around him, I learned so much.
Because you did take a big jump from the blues, and then when I started hearing you the jazz style, so I just wondered was that a guy that obviously wanted to learn it, and you thought, well, can you focus on this part of my playing and sort of the theory behind it,
Yeah, I mean, well, I got into jazz kind of just to make myself a better blues player, and then it kind of it ended up kind of becoming like a really big tangent to my playing.
But it sounds nice though, because I love Larry Colton and all them guys.
Yeah,
and I hear that in your playing, so obviously he's one of your influences, I'm guessing.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And he's sort of a mix between sort of blues and jazz in a perfect way, isn't he? He can play jazz a jazz player, and he can play blues like a blues player, and he's sort of got that unique two qualities. I've watched him with BB King in playing. He's both together, and he sounds like he's playing blues, But then I've heard him play a Miles Davis song on guitar, and it's like an outright jazz piece.
Yeah. Oh, was it So What?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
But there's no blue notes sort of thing in that he's doing. It's all way out there stuff. It's like.
Yeah. My favorite thing about that is it's like Larry Carlton and Robert Ford, those guys. They fuse it so well. It's not it's not like he's ripping blues licks and then playing some bebop lines. It's all kind of put together so well.
Yeah. And Scott Anderson's another one.
Yeah.
But that's where I hear you going in your playing, that sort of that way vibe.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely. I mean, but like I said, the home has always kind of been blues,
Yeah.
but yeah, definitely. I mean, I've got into that a lot, and like recently, definitely like kind of funk and and R&B and that kind of thing. It's been a big thing for me.
Yeah. So what moving forward with that then? What's your? Because I know you've been doing stuff with Northside and your other band, but are you looking at doing like an instrumental band like them guys or?
Yeah, yeah, I am. Yeah, I mean, I've got a trio thing that's kind of in the works at the moment, uh, and that's just kind of
All guitar
been
sort of thing.
pardon?
All guitar.
Well, guitar, bass, and drums. Um,
Yeah, no lyrics. That's what I meant.
oh yeah, yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah, no lyrics at the moment. Yeah, it's kind of music stuff, but that's kind of been a way to air out some kind of instrumental ideas I've been coming up with and stuff. So I've been doing a bit of that, and hopefully there'll be more of that to come.
Well, that's cool. And that's just starting out, is it, as an idea?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some guys that I'm playing with, and we're hopefully we're working on some stuff at the moment. Um, so yeah, that should be coming up
Have
soon.
you got a name yet for that outfit, or?
Not really. I mean, it's just I mean, it just depends at the moment. It's nothing.
Might be a question to throw out on your Instagram or Facebook. Get your fans
Well,
to come up
I mean,
with some names.
well, I mean, we did a gig a while ago, but the name's never really permanent.
Speaking of names, where's your last name from? Praestgaard.
It's Danish. My mom's from Denmark. Um, so yeah, I think it means vicarage or something in Danish. It's not. I think it means vicarage or something like that in Danish. But yeah.
When you're giving out something to some of your players, then what did you say for learning blues from a young player? Was it pentatonic or mixolydian, or you mentioned the minor scale?
Well, I guess yeah, I guess like pentatonic's like the huge thing for everybody, isn't it, when it comes to blues. Um, but like I think the thing is, I guess everybody's doing that pentatonic thing. So I would say like you know one thing that a lot of people don't do that I think is really important is like targeting the chord tones
Right.
of the chord.
Could you explain that for people that don't
Yeah.
know?
So if you're an A, most people might do like a and then to D7 or whatever. But rather than doing that, you could try and play the notes that are in the chord. So in A you have there you have three notes. So you could do like so landing on the major third there, and then when you go to the four, you hit the third of the four. So you get you could go to the fourth, and it just sounds much more musical, I think. And that's something that I think is really important.
And what about chords? What's your take on chords now?
I mean, there's something I think a lot about chords actually. More recently, I've been kind of thinking about like everybody kind of obviously you have your like these kind of close like standard chords. But one thing that I've been kind of digging at the moment is like open voice chords and stuff. Like having like notes that are further away. So like rather than playing like a a G like this, you could play it like like this. Bit out of tune, so that kind of thing. That kind of thing.
Yeah, the blues guys used to play like horn parts, didn't they? On two strings, sort of thing.
Oh, that, yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah.
But then the jazz guys are playing like lot full on melodies, like with 3 or 4 all strings in.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
So when you're practicing the guitar, what do you have a way of doing it? Do you come in, warm up, have a goal to what you want to practice that time, and then, or do you practice? You said you do practice, but do you still practice?
Yeah. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, I'm not really that organised with it, to be honest. I have done it's sometimes, you know, when I'm feeling like super motivated or something, I'll sit with a metronome and do all the, you know, arpeggios and scales and whatever, and, you know, and work on my feel and stuff and timing. But I mean, most of the time you know, I'll just kind of work on an idea or trying to get a sound in my head or something.
Do you loop your guitar then and play over it, or?
Yeah, I got a loop pedal here that I use. You know, just work on like playing over chord progressions and stuff. It's cool. You know, and then I do a lot of like transcribing. You know, to you know, like work on solos and stuff that I've heard and stuff, and then trying to put that into my own playing.
Well, why don't you play a little bit for us, and I'll sit back and have a listen.
All right. Okay.
It's sounding nice.
Thank you, man. Thanks.
So, what guitar music gets you excited? Is there anything?
Guitar?
Yeah, if you like now, you sort of, we mentioned Larry Colton and them. Is he your top man, or is it Robin Ford, or who's your main? Or you got someone that we don't know about?
I mean, it all kind of depends on the day for me, really. You know, like sometimes I'm, you know, really into you know, like Larry Room, you know, 335 and stuff like that. You know, so you know, I'm a big Robin Ford fan as well. So yeah, all that kind of stuff. You know, Oznoy's cool. He's great.
Yeah, he's quite wacky, isn't he?
Yeah, he's killer. And you know, Wayne Krantz and Scott Anderson, as you said. You know, there's so many names that as soon as we do this kind of interview thing, it's gone out of my head now.
Is there any music you don't like?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's stuff. I mean,
is there anything that someone like say come and do this gig and you say no. I don't do that.
Well, I mean, maybe if it was like some like, you know, like
thrash metal stuff or something. Or...
Well, I mean, I'd be up for it, but I probably wouldn't be very good. You know, if it was like some like really commercial pop country gig, I would hate that as well, I think.
All right.
Like super commercial kind of.
What if you have to wear a hat and some cowboy boots and stuff?
Yeah. That wouldn't work. That would not work.
So, do you have any other hobbies?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I'm not really that. I'm not like one of those people that, you know, has got loads of things going on as well. But you know, music's the main thing.
Yeah, but you must have something that takes you away from music now and again.
Yeah, I mean, you know, cycling and stuff like that. You know, all the kind of normal stuff. But I guess the one thing I would say, which is kind of, I don't know if it's a boring answer, but you know, I really just like learning things. Really, that's kind of what gets me excited. You know, just start, you know, reading about stuff and, you know, stupid facts and stuff like that. Trivia, really.
So you're good to have around in a pub quiz, yeah?
Oh, yeah, I'd like to think so, maybe. On a good night, maybe.
So what books are you reading at the moment?
Well, I've just been reading this book about Roman history. And it's basically just about like, you know, like the Roman Empire around the time of Julius Caesar and that kind of thing. And like I'm really interested in that kind of stuff, and about, you know, like the whole you know, the wars and the campaigns and stuff, and about you know, like how they lived, and just, yeah, I find that really interesting, that kind of period of time.
What about podcasts?
Oh yeah, I've been listening to a few actually. There's one that I've been listening to on Spotify. I think it's called Kraz Plus One, and it's a guy, this guitar player in the band called Soul Life called Eric Krasno, and he's been doing these really cool podcasts. So I've been listening to those.
So you're big on Spotify?
Well, I mean, it's a kind of evil thing. It's really convenient, but it's also, I kind of feel bad whenever I'm consuming people's music and they don't get any money for it. So in the future, I want to get a record player, and start collecting albums, things like that.
Is your stuff on Spotify?
No, I don't have anything of my own yet on Spotify. But hopefully soon.
So you go that route, putting your stuff out on Spotify then?
I think so. I mean, I think that's just the way that it's going nowadays. I don't think there's any way that people are gonna stop using these kind of streaming platforms. So it's it's just how it is, really.
Have you got any gigs booked in for next year yet?
I'm kind of clueless at the moment.
So who deals with that for you? Who does your bookings?
Well, it all depends, on like each band,
Well, Crossfire is mostly because that's what I know you for mostly at the moment.
Yeah, so Crossfire, it's kind of just somebody we either ask. It's not like we have an agent. I mean, we do have a kind of agent in Europe. So when we've gone over to Europe, we have a guy that sorts out that stuff. But in England, it's just kind of I might get messaged, or sometimes even my mum. So it really just depends.
But have you got anything in them for next year as Crossfire?
I'm sure we have some stuff. We had quite a lot this year actually, so it's kind of annoying to see that all go. But I'm sure a lot of it will be rescheduled and things like that. So I'm sure we'll be fine.
So where's the best place people can find you then, or find out where you're gigging and?
Well, I mean, for Crossfire, there's a page on Facebook. There's a Facebook page and a website as well, with the gig lists and things like that. And for Northside, there's a Facebook page for that as well, and a website.
What's the plan with Northside?
Well, I mean, this is, everything's kind of been put on hold for the moment. So I don't know how about the plans too much, but this year we were going to have a really busy year. We were going to be gigging a bunch, and we had a short tour in the Netherlands, I think, that was planned. So looking forward to that, and I think we have like a Czech Republic thing next year maybe, and so yes, a lot of gigs and things.
When we spoke last time, you got some new recording stuff as well. So how's that been going?
Yeah, I mean that's kind of how I've been filling my time a lot recently.
It was a MacBook or an iMac?
Yeah, a MacBook Pro. Yeah, so and I got studio monitors and interface and stuff like that.
And you enjoying it? It's not put you off at all?
Well, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. I got Logic, and so I started recording some demos for the instrumental stuff I was talking about, and I've also done some stuff with Northside and Crossfire as well. So yeah, it's the best you can do.
What about your amp? What amps are you using?
Well, at the moment I'm plugged into a Fuchs amp, which sounds really great. It's not very loud at the moment, but it sounds pretty killer when it's plugged in, and loud. I've also got a deluxe reverb somewhere in the house, which has been the amp I've gigged through the most, I think. But yeah, I mean that's really it for the amps that I play.
Okay. And what's your setup? You got a pedal board, I guess.
Yeah. I kind of go back and forth between a couple pedals on the floor and then like a pedal board. I haven't really got to the stage yet where I'm like getting a proper pedal board made or anything where it's like designed with like neat cables and everything. I'd love that, but haven't got to that yet.
So what's your sort of two main pedals that you take with you?
It changes, man. I've got a couple overdrive things that I use. I got this Boss DM2 Wazza delay that I've been digging. It's like an analog delay, and it's quite dark in the repeat, so it doesn't get in the way of my playing, which is quite nice. So yeah, I mean I dig that. I got a volume pedal, if that counts.
And what boost are you using?
Well, I was using up here. I've got this tube overdrive pedal called a Hughes and Kettner Tube Factor, which is kind of been my favourite boost kind of pedal. But the power supply on that broke last year, so I haven't got that fixed. I haven't got that sorted yet. But yes, I mean for overdrives, I've got like a tube screamer style kind of thing down here, which is it's called a Sidecar by Hudson Electronics. And then there's an AC booster by Exotic as well. But yeah, I mean I'm not too fussy really. I just kind of if I had the right amp, I'd probably just go mainly straight through the amp really.
What's the best piece of advice you've been given?
Well, no, I guess one thing I heard that was pretty cool recently, useful, is that like when you're playing, don't think about theory unless you've got a problem, And I think that's kind of important. That's been an important thing for me. Is like, just when you're playing, you don't want to be thinking about any of that kind of stuff. You just want to kind of let it flow. But yeah, so I mean, and obviously there's the old things like less is more and all that. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I could think of something way better. Well,
you can always text it to me, and I'll just add it on the screen for you.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I'll do that.
So, what does music mean to you right now?
Well, that's deep. Well, I mean, music's it's my passion. It's what I love doing. So,
what do you get from it though? What do you get from music? What does it give you?
Well, I think for me, it's like that might be one reason why I chose the guitar. It's the expression that you can get from it. You can say how you feel. And you don't have to you don't have to keep it inside. It's just you can which I think is quite I'm quite lucky in that way because a lot of people wouldn't be able to really do that as easily. I guess I just love I love groove, I love harmony, I just love the way music makes you feel,
Have you got a best mate who's your age you went to school with?
Yeah.
And what does he think?
Well, of what I do. I think most people at school. I mean, they don't probably know that much about it really.
You kept it separate.
Yeah, really. I probably have actually.
So he hasn't been upstairs like in your room to hang out, and you've gone, what's all these guitars? You never told me you played guitar.
Of course he knows all about that stuff. Yeah, he's probably the only one that really does know about all that kind of stuff.
You haven't brought him to any gigs to carry your amp and stuff then?
Well, he's been to a couple.
What's his name? Go on, give him a shout out.
Andrew. He's not my roadie yet. But,
he's gonna be.
No, mate.
Oh dear. So, do you have a favourite song out of all the sets you play? Well, or in Crossfire? I'm not saying that you should say the others are crap. What I'm sort of saying is that do you have one that comes up and you sort of think, I enjoy soloing over this. I can make this build, and.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's in a Crossfire set, there's a tune called Daddy Longlegs, which you play, which has got for me, it's just the song in that kind of thing about about enjoying soloing over it or something, or it's really like the songs where it gives you a chance to kind of go anywhere with it, and you can kind of, and the funnest thing for me is when the band kind of follows you and you end up in a completely different place,
What key is that in?
So that's why that song, I think it's in
C. What do you think?
Well, I know it's in C, but
we're gonna do Daddy Longlegs. Oh shit! What key's it in? Got.
But yeah, I mean, for me, it's just it's just really any kind of time where there's a lot of freedom for improvisation and
What's the progression on that then? Give us a little bit.
Well, it's like a this kind of riff. the kind of main riff.
And that's in C, is it? You said.
Yeah, C, and then it goes up to an E flat. And then back to C.
So what are you soloing over then in C in that?
Well, in the solo section, I guess you'd call it. It's just kind of over a C vamp. So you can just, it's just that gives you a lot more room rather than just playing. So I'm not playing over like the E flat and stuff like that. I'm just playing over a C.
So you're what, pentatonic, Mixolydian, all that sort of stuff.
Well, I mean, it's kind of a mixture of a lot of different things, So when I'm not really thinking about that when I'm soloing too much, but yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of thinking about what I hear in my head or what comes first. I might just play some kind of melody, something like that, and then I'll kind of, build off that, and I might play, hear some kind of line, like a Mixolydian line because I've practiced that.
Yeah.
But yes, and I might sometimes I dig the outside kind of stuff as well. But yeah, bit of everything.
So that's the song. So Dad Longlegs, if people want to check it out.
Yeah, I don't know how much there is of there, to be honest. It's
might be on.
But yeah, I mean,
might be YouTube somewhere.
Yeah, although there's probably not best recordings.
What's your thought of YouTube? People videoing you at gigs.
Oh, it's a love-hate relationship. I guess I get it's important, and but when the video quality's bad and stuff, it does kind of make you cringe a bit, and it already makes you cringe seeing yourself back anyway. So I can't say I love it seeing a video of me on YouTube again, but it's important, and it's PR, I guess. Well.
Yeah, but if you had a choice, would you be for it or against it? Really, live sort of videoing on your phones.
It's a tough one. I mean, I would definitely rather that people made sure that it was high quality. But when it is high quality, when it's a good video, it's a free band video, isn't it? So that can be good.
So if you could go back in time to any time, when would you go back to and why?
I'd have to say late 60s in London. That would be cool. To get the whole kind of Cream thing and Hendrix and that kind of thing.
So you'd pick that over the Colosseum being built or being.
Well, I had a few ideas. I was actually going to say.
Watching the gladiators fight.
Well, yeah, 50 BC or whatever. Julius Caesar. That'd be pretty cool as well.
Especially if you can take your guitar with you. Freaking right out.
Yeah, that would be cool. Yeah, but also I'd like to be around. Like the kind of like 90s, late 90s when like D'Angelo was doing like the voodoo stuff. I would have loved to sit in on those sessions and just like listen to those guys play. So that would be cool. There's so many cool times. That I wish I was around for.
Yeah, but your first one was the 60s, sort of Hendrix.
That's the first thing that came to my head. I just think because I think it would be such a visceral experience to to hear Hendrix. That'd just be insane.
Or Robert Johnson.
Yeah, that's another one, man. Yeah, that.
So what's your Desert Island disc?
Well, like album?
Yeah, well, your choice. But what's your favourite?
Okay.
You've been shipped off to an island. You ain't coming back. What are you taking with you, record-wise?
Okay, oh man, that's tough. That's really tough. That's, I don't know.
Well, your house is burning down. You got your guitar under one hand. You got to grab a record quick. What record's it going to be?
I mean, I'd have to say BB King live at the Regal. That would be one.
Good choice. Yep.
I'm a big fan of Steely Dan, so I'd have to say maybe Asia as well.
You can only take one. You said
Okay,
BB. Steely Dan's been burnt. That's gone.
Okay, well, I'd have to say BB or even if it was like a Kind of Blue or something. Davis, one of those kind of things, But yeah, one of those two.
Is there anyone? If you had the chance to play with anyone in the world, who would it be? Who's alive now, obviously.
Alive. Yeah. Oh, I don't know, man. I guess Robin Ford would be a big one for me. That'd be cool. But I mean, to be honest, I think it'd probably be like a singer or drummer. I think would be, someone like Kurt Elling. I'd love to play with Kurt Elling. He's a killer singer. Jazz singer. That's another one of my favorite albums, The Gate, by Kurt Elling.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, I'd love to play with him. I'd love to play with, someone like Nate, one of those kind of drummers, or Steve Gadd or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, there's so many people, man. A lot of the kind of blues guys, they're not around now. So. But I probably I've had so many nightmares about this kind of thing of me like getting off on a stage with BB and then him kind of telling me that my playing sucks, and then I was that kind of like killed me, man. But yes, so I mean, I guess if it went all right, that would be cool.
Why don't you give us a bit more guitar? Let's hear some of what you're playing.
Okay. I'm rubbish at knowing what to play. Any ideas?
Well, what's one of the new ones you're working on, or just give us a snippet of it so people can hear any of your nice melodies you're coming up with?
Well, I'll play some blues, I think.
Do that then. You asked me. I just
well,
don't ask me. Don't ask me.
All right, yeah, sorry, man. I was just thinking you kind of need the whole band and stuff for that to work, really.
Yeah, no, it's all cool. Yeah, just be good to hear you play because you sound lovely.
Oh, thank you, mate. That's very kind. Is that all right? Can you hear that?
Yep, it's perfect.
Cool.
Sweet, man. Sounds sweet. Sounds lovely.
Thank you, mate.
So what's next then? Eh? So you're going to be betting this band together, out with Northside, and Crossfire is going to have some stuff happening next year as well. Best place is Facebook for... Was that for Crossfire?
Yeah, I'd say for Crossfire and Northside, Facebook's probably the best bet.
Page, okay.
Yeah, I mean, for my own stuff...
Instagram for you, wasn't it?
Yeah, for this like, kind of instrumental stuff and, just like general guitar nerdy stuff and all that kind of stuff, Instagram's probably best for me.
And what's your name on Instagram?
Marcus Praestgaard.
Okay.
Or Marcus_Praestgaard.
Okay. That's cool. All right, Marcus, we'll give you some questions now. Let's see how we go with this. You ready?
Yep.
Superman or Batman?
Batman, because it's Superman is just a bit overpowered, I think.
Gibson or Telecaster?
Oh, that's it depends which day of the week.
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday's Gibson Day today.
Would you text or call?
Cool.
Cookies or cake?
Cookies.
Better or easier?
better.
Larry Colton or Robin Ford?
Depends which day of the week.
No,
again.
they're both playing. One each side of the street.
Oh man, that's evil. That's evil.
Who's you gonna go and watch?
I can't choose that.
You sit in the middle.
Yeah, that's what have to happen. Yeah.
Impulsive or methodical?
On an impulse, I'll say impulsive.
Blues or jazz?
Blues.
Reverb, yes or no?
Big yes, yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much, Marcus.
Thanks for having me.
That's a
Tom.
pleasure,
Thank you,
man.
mate.
Always a pleasure.
Cheers,
Thumbs
mate.
up.
All the best, man. That was a bad thumbs up. Let me do that again.
Hey, it's Tommy Allen from Tommy Allen Music, and that was Marcus Praestgaard. You can find out more about him and his music at crossfirebluesband.com. Next week, we have the amazing blues rock guitar player from Sweden, Claes Ingstrom. So come and check that out next week, right here on Tommy Allen Music. Please give us a like, hit the subscribe button. Until next week, a word from our director.